that you all are doing good. So the purpose of sharing this video is to tell you that what should be the approach. This is the most common question that people get confused, that when should I start preparing, right? And what should be the approach? So in this case, I will be making a very smart, crisp video, right? So in this, that should I prepare simultaneously? Simultaneously means that should I prepare while डूइंग माई LLB के साथ मैं कर सकता हूँ क्या? मेरे को अपने और सारे सब्जेक्ट्स के साथ मेरे को जुडिशरी की तैयारी करनी चाहिए, राइट? और या फिर शुड आई प्रिपेयर आफ्टर माई LLB, right? So that is also correct. You may do that, because most of the students, what they think that first let me complete my LLB and thereafter I will be focusing towards my judicial services. That is my aim, right? So that is all your discretion, but I would suggest that if you can prepare from the college duration, then that would be very good, because at that point of time you will be having, काफ़ी ज़्यादा समय होगा आपके पास अपना prepare करने के लिए, right? So that you can be preparing for many states, right? Because if you start preparing after your LLB, then that is said that it is short duration, right? You will be preparing for short duration, right? Okay, so should I prepare simultaneously or should I prepare after my LLB? So that all depends upon you, but I would say that whenever you decide that you have to do, then do not look back. You have to do it, right? Because this preparation required ample of time and determination. This preparation is not that you will be studying only 1 hour or half an hour daily. That is not required. You have to be very careful, right? So I will be telling you that what time should you at what time, or how much time you should give to law and how much time you should give to other subjects also, right? So for example, and next question is that should I prepare for all states or should I be a very state specific? So if you have time, right, if you have time, then you can prepare UP, Haryana, Delhi, MP, all the states. But if you do not have time, then I would suggest then be a very state specific. Why? Because every state has a different approach. For example, if take an example of UP. In UP, most of the questions are not applied, but it is theoretical question, right? They will ask you a very theoretical question. But if you look after Delhi or Haryana, then in that case the questions are very applied based, very practical questions. So this is the very common thing, that the person who is clearing UP may not clear the Delhi or Haryana prelims. It does not matter that it does not mean that the person who is clearing UP usko aata nahi hoga Delhi, but the approach is different, right? Because in Delhi in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, it requires the very practical approach, right? So your approach is different. Whereas if you think about UP, Bihar or Jharkhand, so that is a very theoretical question. They ask very theoretical, and apart from that, they do ask, for example, Bihar, they ask GK, GS, right? General science, general knowledge, and that is also very important, right? So studying law is not at all sufficient for Bihar, UP, Jharkhand. You have to be very careful with other subjects, right? So this is the thing, that you should be very state specific. If you do not have time, then be very state specific. You should choose, because every state has a different approach. And the way you are preparing for UP, for example, UP की अगर आप प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो या बिहार की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो, तो वही प्रिपरेशन आपकी दिल्ली में नहीं चलेगी, या इसमें हरियाणा में नहीं चलेगा आपका. Okay, so you should be very careful with this. Now third thing is the language paper, right? The language paper require daily investment, right? Because I think that you cannot prepare your essay or pre-C writing in 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 months. It requires a lot of practice, right? So अगर आप daily के 15 to 20 minutes daily दे रहे हो, if you're giving 15 to 20 minutes or 1 hour to this language, then I'm telling you, you should see the change, that there will be a tremendous change in yourself, right? After 1 or 2 months you will see the change in yourself. So you should do the language from day one, right? Language from day one, because this language paper will decide not only your selection but also your rank, right? Because many students, see, many students, what they do basically, that what we will do, that we will be doing law, we will be studying only law. But what about the language paper, right? What about the language paper? Language paper is very important. It will decide your selection. So this is the main reason that we as a lawyer, we do not, generally I'm saying that we do not look after this language paper, right? So you have to be very careful with this language paper, GK, GS. Alright, so now next topic is that what is the importance of previous year question paper. That plays a very important role, because after reading previous year questions, you will be knowing that what is the essence of that state. Okay, आपको सारी चीज़ें पता चल जाएगी कि कैसे क्वेश्चन आता है, what is the approach of those questions, what is the approach for those state, right? Because if you see UP, in UP they have a habit of asking most of the thing the previous year questions, and in PT, see, clearing a PT is not that difficult, because there is an approach for clearing a PT. You have to be very careful with the GK, GS and the law subject, because in law there are the marks are different. The marks are different. Okay, all right, that is very important. Now, should you do self-study or should you go for coaching? That is a different thing. That is a very debatable question. But I would suggest that self-study is very good. But during the self-study, what you will be doing is you will be studying this, so many things, right? Which might not be required. But in coaching, you will be studying only pinpointed, because that teacher will be having a knowledge that which type of question can come, right? So coaching would be a better option, right? Because for example Sachin Tendulkar, he also required a coach. Every person required a coach, because, however, that does not mean that you cannot go for self-studies. You may clear the exam with the self-studies by doing self-studies, but that may take time, right? That may take time. But in coaching you will be reading pinpointed things, right? So that is all I want to tell you, that what should be the approach, and in our next class I will be telling you all other things, right? Thank you.